everyone, I've just popped in to show you my latest journal that I'm making. This is so pretty, this one. Now the front covers material again, and this time I've used foil. Very tricky to print onto it was, but I managed it, and I did it in draft, but this time I really wished I'd done it in best or normal or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do with this one, I'm coming in with my pencils again, and I'm going to just colour the image in the middle. The outside here, this frame, is a die cut, and I'm not sure what make the die cut. Yes, I do. It's a tonic. This is a tonic die cut, and I cut it out with card, and I've glued it onto the fabric here. As I say, I really wish that I'd printed the fabric best instead of draft, but it doesn't matter. It gives it a real ethereal look to it. But as I say, gauze was very difficult to print onto. What I had to do was back it onto another piece of linen fabric. Now I did try to print onto this fabric, but it didn't work very well. It jammed my printer, but what I managed to get, hold on, before it jammed, when I managed to pull it out of the printer, this is what I had on there. It's beautiful, actually, this. So I decided not to waste it, to put it into the middle of my pages here. And I've started doing pages, but I'll take those out for the time being. Now I printed onto normal cotton, a very flimsy cotton this time for the middle, and I've put the normal wadding inside there. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stitch on this piece of lace, and as I say, this is so very fine, and it really frayed all over the place. That's why I had to back it onto another piece of fabric before I could do anything. And then, as I say, my wadding, the other piece of fabric for the middle there, which is beautiful as well. But now this is supposed to be white. It looks cream, but it's supposed to be white, and that's what I really wanted for this journal, was white. Let me take these two out for a minute. I wanted this journal to be white, so there you can see how it's foil that I printed onto first off, and for being foil, it printed pretty good, actually. I was quite pleased with it. You can see how transparent and see-through it is there, but the voile really was fabulous there. So as I said, I had to back it onto a piece of white fabric there for it to stand out some more. But as I say, the bird, I wanted to frame the bird, but the bird doesn't stand out very much. The way I'm looking at it, it doesn't. So I printed off another piece of the paper, just to give me an idea of what the bird should really look like. I could have just carried on colouring it in myself, but I wanted it to. The colours went with the actual paper, which it's designed to do. So I'm coming in with my pencils again, and I'm just highlighting things. I started to do it, and that's when I thought, put it on camera, Shirley. So I'm coming in and I'm just, no prettiness, no being too neat about it. I'm just coming in and going over the leaves to highlight the leaves a bit more. As I said, oh, that's, now I sharpened everything, but look, that's broken in there. It doesn't matter, it works for the time being, so that'll do. Right, now then I'm going to come in with a darker green here. And this is, as I say, just for it all to stand out a bit more. I'm going to just do little bits of it, and then I'll come and show you how I've got on with it and what it looks like. I have the image in front of me, and I already did one leg. The legs don't really show up, so I have this. It's a uni pen, and it's a 0.1. I don't want it to be too wet and for it to bleed. So that's his, see, and he has a little bit of a there on the leaf as well. Can't see the rest of it, but also I started to fill his beak in with this as well, just to, and his eye. So I'm going to give him a little bit more colour in his eye. Now, can you see he's starting to look quite a handsome chappy now? I'm just coming around, following the line, very sketchy. And I want to come in and just put some sketchy definition for his feathers. I'm going to come up round the back here, not pressing very hard at all. I don't really want it to be a black solid line, but I do want it to and as I say, I'm doing it very, very sketchy so it isn't a solid line. There. That looks better now. He's got some more character to him. He really is a lovely browny sort of colour. So lots of different colour browns. So I'm coming in and doing some more shading around him. That'll make him really stand out in this frame that he's in. And for his eye, I have a white pen here. So I just go in and hold the white pen, twiddle it around a little bit so some ink comes out, and that defines his eye. And then if I want to later on, I'll go back in and now I couldn't do any of this colouring until I'd stabilised the voile that I printed onto, and now it's stabilised. I'm able to be a bit more robust with it. Oh, he's starting to really look like a happy chappy now. I lose myself in doing this. I absolutely adore it. And as I say, all I'm doing is highlighting him so that he'll show up a bit more. I'm going to put a bit more colour underneath his wing there to shade it, to give it like a shadow. And I didn't want to use paint because of the flimsiness of the material. So I've got a little bit of a greeny colour. I'm coming in with this as if it looks as if the leaves are pinging off his feathery coat there. Isn't it lovely? Bit of black here, just again for a bit more definition. Oh, he's starting to look so cute now. I'm not going to do much more with him because I'll finish him off on off camera, because this does, I like to take my time with it. I don't like to rush it and then end up that I'm not happy with the results. So I'm going to leave that now. I'll just come back in here with, got some, it's got some marks, black marks on here which I don't like, so I'm trying to get rid of them. Just rolling it along. That's it. There you go. That's good. It's better because I want this to be a bit paler here. Paler here as well. Right, that'll do. You've got the gist of what I'm doing. I'm highlighting him, and I'm going to finish this. I'll show you as well. I'm just going to sketchy lines here as well, so that they show up a bit more. And I'm probably going to do some sketchy lines around the leaves as well. Again, just to the leaves here have some huge definition in, so this one comes down here like so, and then this one hasn't got any there. This one has here. This one has loads in it here. There. I'm going to call that a day with this. I'm going to carry on off camera and finish that, because what I want to come in now, so I'll put that up there out the way. What I want to do now, oh, this is, as I say, this is all what I've started the inside. Now this is the, I saw a lady do this on Instagram. On my Instagram, I've actually put a thank you for the inspiration to her, but I can't remember who it is now. I think it's Vintage Papers Time or something, and the time is the THYME, the herb, not TIME, but it's on my Instagram of where I saw this first, and she had a giveaway. And the giveaway was that if you left a comment, she'd send you one of these. Well, I didn't win. I left the comment, but I didn't win. So I thought, I have the Tim Holtz embossing folder here, but it's an embossing folder, but it cuts it out. But as I saw on her Instagram, she didn't say how she did it, but when I didn't win, I thought, do you know what, I'm going to work that out. And I did. It was quite easy, really, in the end. So I'm happy I did, and I'm happy I didn't win, because I wouldn't have probably worked it out otherwise. So I have lots of here that I've been playing with. Look, there's loads, and they're so beautiful. Now the thing I found though is that it works better with thinner paper. Mine's about 120 or about 100, my copy paper, but this is one that I've done and I've put an image behind, but that one's die cut out. This one's die cut out. These are all going into my new journal here. So this is die cut out, this frame, and this one's die cut out, and this one's. So these are all die cut out, and they're ready to go into my book here somewhere. Not sure all of them will go in, but quite a few will go in. And I've also, now these I had when I got it, as you do, you play around, and this is what the frame looks like when you use it, how it should be used. And this is thicker cardstock, and I did just some background paper with it, with some inks and distress oxides, and that's how that one. This one as well was the same, a background, and then I die cut it out. This one, oh, this one I loved. It's like rust. I did like that one. But anyway, you really want to see how to do this, don't you? So let me put this. Oh, I've got all of these here, and I've got that one as well, which I'm going to put in there. But that's all for when I put the insides of the journal. I think somebody asked me what papers. Well, this one here, which I showed you, now they're all going into the bin, they're all falling. So I'm going to have to, oh, that's this one here. Now this paper here is Shabby Art Boutique. That's where I got that from. Now this paper, which is the birdie paper, that's Teacup and Roses on Etsy. So Teacup and Roses are these papers, and that's what I printed the birdie off here. They're Teacup and Roses, so they're so beautiful. Oh, that's one of the pages there, which I was showing, which I was looking at to do the colouring. So that's there. But let me put this away. No, I'm going to turn you off, and then I'm going to come back when I have everything ready. Right, I have my big shot here. I'm not, now you'll have to work your own what you need, whatever your die cutting machine is. You're going to have to work out what sandwiches you want. I found the sandwich that works best for me is the Big Shot platform there, this thin die adapter that goes on there. You can have it on the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter. You'll need an embossing mat and the plate, just one plate, that's all, and the die. Now you won't use the die as it's designed to be used. You're going to open it out like that. And I have already cut out a piece of paper here. Now I've decided I want the embossed image here. So what you're going to do, you're going to have your die cut folder, die cut embossing folder, flat open, and you're going to put it like that onto there. Now what you need to do with your paper to get the embossed side here, so that the embossed side is here and the debossed side is on the other side, you have to turn your paper over. So what I tend to do is I just work out really where I want to have it. I want it over there, and the pattern paper is face down, and you have the wrong side showing like that. Now bear in mind that won't cut out there, because what I'm going to do here is just put my plate to there, no further. I'm not going to put it over the cutting part of the die, and I'm going to push this through like that. And as you can see, I'm going to come back because but as you can see, I haven't even got the embossing mat all the way over, or the sandwich all the way over either. So when you bring it out, there you go, voila, you end up with your embossed. Isn't that clever? I love it. And then what you can do, as I've done with quite a few of them, I've put them in the other journal that I'm doing. I've inked around the, I'll show you in a minute, but I'll do one more for you, because you can actually decide anywhere where you want it as well. Now remember, you're embossing, that's my sandwich there, and then my embossing mat, as I said, I don't have it all the way over. Now I want to have it, so there's my die cut that side, so I want to have my birdie there, but bear in mind you have to turn it over, remember. That's it. So that's going to go on there. This is going to go there. You have to make sure that the embossed part, the frame part, is all on the mat here. So even if you come a bit further down, don't worry about it. There. Bit fiddly, but worth the effort. That's lovely. I'm happy with that. So I'm only going to put my cutting thing there. And as I said, you don't even have to go all the way through. You can come back again. And it doesn't, this doesn't cut into it because you haven't got the thick sandwiches there. So again, I've got a larger piece of pretty paper here. Now I could have this, if I was going to have this as my page there, I could actually have that on a page like that. Isn't that pretty? But I am going to have this in my book here. That's why I cut this one out as it is, because that is going to... Now play around with this, girls, because I have, and I've got, I'm lucky enough to have the bigger Sizzix, the A4 machine, and you can get the whole page in there, and you can have your half page here. I won't do it for you and show you because it's too cumbersome to put on my desk and thing, but it's the same sort of sandwich. And then you just, now instead of, see, that's what I said, girls, you'll have to play around, because instead of going like that, this is why you need the A4. You're going to go, decide where you want it on your page here, and then don't forget it's this way round so that it'll emboss here, but you can emboss there. But the reason I tell you to put your cutting plate, one of your plates here, is so that this doesn't cut into anything when it goes through. Can you see? So you'll have your big A4 piece here, you'll have your A4 machine. Oh, this will have to go round this way. There. But play around with it. It works, and I'm going to have a couple in here, but as I say, I can't show you because it's too awkward to put onto my desk and try and get the camera to pick it up. But I hope you're going to have a play around with this. And what I'm also going to show you now is I've finished my journal. I've stitched everything in. Now this is all the, this is how bulky it's probably going to turn out, because I have done loads of ephemera here, loads of bits of ephemera to go in here, and there's little tags to go in here. I want to use all these pictures somewhere in here. There's an envelope. Oh, this is what I've done as well. I've been stamping, so that I've got lots of stamping going on there. So all this is going into the journal at some stage or another. I bought, oh no, my husband bought a new top, and this was there, so I thought, oh my goodness, yes, that'll go in my journal beautifully. He said to me, I presume you want this? I said, yes, please. So that'll go in. Oh, look, this is what I've done, see, as well. I printed this image onto a piece of this really thin, it's like wrapping paper, actually. I printed onto that, and then I put the embossing, I put it through the embossing folder here, like that. But remember, it was this way I did it, and I put it up to the light actually, and I was able to get it right into the centre. And then, oh no, this isn't stamping, these are stickers on there, so that's going in there. Look. Did it on the tag as well. Lots you can do with this. And then I stamped into the middle. I stamped afterwards, actually. Then this one here. This is different bits of, now bear in mind I did say to you that it has to be thin. I've tried thicker and it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't like it very much, but the thinner it is, the better it is. So I glued on lots of little pieces of paper there, and then I stamped in the middle. This one I've inked around the edges because I did that one on vellum, and I put the vellum onto a bit of book page, and then I did it, and then I glued it onto a lovely bit of fabric. Again, this one as well, I've inked the edges on this one and then stamped in the middle. That was just on a bit of ephemera, so that's going to go in there. Oh, I've done it on there. I don't know whether you can see it. Oh, I just had to play around all the time with it. Look at this as well on here, and then I just glued on bitses. I haven't, this is just some hand stitching and some raggedy bits on there. I printed onto this lovely doily. This was a Paper Mania doily years ago, so I put it through the printer and printed her on there. Isn't she lovely? This one. Ah, no, this is the one where I said to you that I inked it there. So I did the same thing, put it through the die cut machine, and then I gently inked around afterwards. Isn't that gorgeous? That one as well. Oh, I did this. This is going into the journal as well. And these were one of my first ones that I tried, and I put lots of glued on lots of different pieces of paper onto a book page, and it worked beautifully. This was the same. I glued lots of paper onto a book page, and then I put it through, and then I stuck it onto the fabric. This one I love. Now this is an envelope here, and what I did for this one, I unglued the envelope here. I just got a little ruler here, and I ran the ruler along I won't do it again because I've already glued it back again. I ran the ruler along the edges and it opened it, and then I put the envelope through, and then I put the little girl on, and these bits is on all afterwards, and glued the envelope back up. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm in love with this. Right, now this here, this is just a doily, and I stamped onto some fabric, and then I hand stitched around the butterfly that I stamped, and glued little bits of lace, and I coloured in the butterfly with my pencils again. This is the same, but this one I did stamped onto the doily. I stamped the butterfly onto the doily, coloured it in, and then I hand stitched around the doily onto the fabric there, and then I machine stitched the little girl there. You've seen that one. Not sure whether you've seen this one. This one has a little tag in there, and again stamped onto fabric and stamped onto there, but I think you've seen that one. Oh, you saw this one where I made the hole, but you didn't see where I'd put the material. Not the material, where I'd put an image inside and then glued it all onto another piece of fabric there. You saw this one, this one, this one, and now this one here. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, that you saw me stamp onto the, well, you didn't see me stamp, but I stamped onto the fabric, but then I did the vellum in the embossing thing, and I cut out the middle myself, and then I went round very gently, because it's vellum, with distressing ink. But what I actually did was I did it with a, let me see, I did it with a brush rather than a foam, because it gave a more gentler colour to it, and I thought that looks lovely. So this little fabric swatch here is going in as well. You've seen those, you've seen those, seen that. Oh yes, I had a tag. I didn't have a tag for that, so I've got the tag, stamped the butterfly again, and then I stamped this little girl there, and she's going in there, so that when I put all this in there somewhere, pockets and what have you, this is going to be, how chunky is this, and I'm loving it. Beautiful. And as I said, what I did, I stitched it all into the three signatures. I stitched the three signatures in, and then I cut this piece of fabric, frayed the edges a little bit, just a little bit, and so that it doesn't fray anymore, I did a patterned machine stitch on both sides, and then I glued it onto the journal. And what, can you see these? They look like patches, but they're not patches. This is part of the tie there. And what I actually did, I forgot to tell you this before, I actually cut into the material, and then I threaded the ties through both sides. I sliced there, and then I sliced there and there, and I threaded the ties through, and then I caught it up inside and stitched it, so that will never come undone. Now I haven't done anything with this, and I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that. I quite like that as is. Nice bit of texture and feely. So that is, when I put everything in there, the end of that one. Now I really hope that you give this a try, girls, and I hope you fall in love with this as I have as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. There you go. Speak to you all later in the next video. Bye.